Somewhere deep, we heard the sound. It was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart. Getting so much closer by staying apart. Singing a song of hope and love that you heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near. Taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. A song for the lonely, the tired and the weary. A song for the broken, the mighty. Can you hear me? Get beyond our pride and greed. Share everything that we need. We won't be ignored. We will be restored. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. 'Cause love is the word, and hope is the song.
Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast. As Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
So I grabbed myself and called 888-994-4995 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning.
So get ready for the time of your life.
Shake off your sleepies, buckle up, cause it's showtime!
Welcome to the breakfast. My phone is a mess, and it's everywhere. But welcome to the breakfast with the Brew crew.
3 years old at the kitchen table going, rah! I know. Your phone's a mess. I dropped the thing on the floor. We had to unload the groceries from the car this morning. How are you doing, Dad? Good morning.
I have breaking news.
Do you?
The vacuum cleaner that Dawn broke is
fixed.
now fixed thanks to Chuck and his hands of skilled labor. He's like a surgeon.
Kind of, I guess that's what it is.
That's where you do those acupunctures. I always wondered how you can acupuncture anybody and not miss.
You do not miss.
I
Even
mean-
I can acupuncture you.
Yeah, right. Okay, moving on.
I used to acupuncture myself.
That? We're not gonna have
So-
what?
Yeah, so apparently the issue
What?
with my vacuum, yeah, because when he wouldn't give me the needles that I wanted, I would just take them out and put them where I needed myself.
What?
Yeah.
You know the damage? Now that explains everything. What do you think, Cracker Barrel? She's been sticking needles where they don't belong. Now we wonder why.
Good morning, Johnny.
Can you do me a favor and not vacuum anymore? I think that if we all take a vow that if you take an area and I take an area and he takes an area and everybody takes an area, then maybe it'll stop you from doing this.
It would be nice.
Because you are everywhere. And there are things dropping everywhere. And then you make me nervous, and I broke a plant yesterday.
You did.
Because of you.
You broke a plant. I dropped a nozzle thing. How'd you like that fuzzy leprechaun yesterday? You missed
I
it.
had one taste. I had one
finished it.
sip.
I
and
know.
you
I drank the rest of it.
I don't know. I guess it was pretty good.
I had a day yesterday. But
This
it was
guy
all
had
good.
one, and his mic wasn't on, and everything you heard, nobody heard.
The microphone was dead.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
because the battery's dying.
Or was
Oh,
it
yeah.
off?
No, it was a red light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was dead.
that
I
would
don't
be
know why
called
it was handed at
dead
but, oh well.
battery.
So you knew that?
I know what a red light means.
You mean you knew his mic wasn't working?
No, Gubba, Steve from Gubba was texting me. I can't hear the guy in the black shirt. Then I had to say, okay, who has a black shirt?
Ah. Gotta look. Production.
And it was Mr. Blake.
Production class 101. Check for your light and make sure it's green. Yes, he's got that. So
And
happy Thursday to you. So I have to fill you in on the vacuum situation. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's hard to believe we are past St. Patty's Day, moving into our birthday week. Yes, it is the birthday week celebration now coming up. Yours is mañana.
Good
We're
morning,
having a
John.
virtual
We're
celebration.
not going to talk about mañana.
So the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah,
There
let's go
are
there.
3 notches that need to fit into 3 notches. Okay, I was never good. If Teddy were only here, she'd understand my spatial
Even
relation
Teddy couldn't fix this machine.
issue. See, I got no spatial relation with my eyes because I have a bad eye. So anyway, I never learned
So
like
the bad eye created the
square peg
spatial
goes in
relationship.
square hole. I never can play tennis. This is eye-hand coordination. So apparently there's 3 rectangular shaped tabs that go in 3 rectangular shaped notches. I didn't realize they were different, nor did I ever realize there were 3, quite frankly. I just put it in and it fits, it doesn't, it doesn't. Apparently they're sized. So if something is
Size
sized,
does matter.
apparently size matters. So if they're going to be sized and they're not all the same size, then how is anyone supposed to know what notch goes in what groove? So now
I would bet you $1 that all the notches fit in the grooves.
I color coded it.
It's impossible that 3 notches, 3 different grooves. That's impossible.
Well, Blake asked me yesterday how I quite managed that. So now it has been color coded in the world of my mother.
Okay, but I need you to stop using that machine. I was in withdrawal yesterday.
You had no vacuum? I know.
You know, it's a funny saying because today I wanted to talk about reflection because you never know you're missing something until you don't have it anymore.
You missed the vacuum.
I was like walking around here saying I can't stand that mop, that wet dry thing you use. What is that?
It's another mop.
And every time I use it, she says you got to change the
The head
padding on
gets
it.
dirty. I know you think it's a mop with a pamper.
It's like a giant pamper. I can't stand that thing.
So anyway, the vacuum is fixed. It is now color coded because in my mother's world, everything gets color coded with nail polish.
Yeah, that was a thing.
It's a thing. So my keys have nail polish on it, so you know what keys. So the vacuum container now has nail polish on it. Anyway, so moving on from the vacuum cleaner. Yesterday we ended a little early because I need to. I forgot who we were talking about getting your screening. So yesterday I went for my mammogram screening and ultrasound over at Boca Community.
We were talking to Tony, but we weren't talking about that. Forget
No,
it.
there was somebody else, and we talked. She was diagnosed with cancer, and she was a big proponent of everyone getting their screenings. So I kind of put off my mammogram longer than I should have, a little over a year, because I really didn't want to go back into a hospital situation with COVID.
Yes, I understand.
But I thought, we don't live in fear, we have to face it, right? Enough people are getting vaccinated, and I thought I had to do it. So I went yesterday. Let me tell you, they are on point when you walk into the cancer center over there. They scan you, you don't touch anything. They give you a second mask, so you had to have 2 masks on. I could put it under mine or over mine, but it had to be their mask. Then they give you a tissue to touch the elevator. They don't want you touching anything. All the forms that you would have to fill out, all the requirements and giving them all done verbally now. They go through it, yes, yes, no, address, everything, and they fill out all the forms. So you don't touch a pen, you don't touch a piece of paper, then you got to go change your clothes. You no longer go into
Do
the
they
locker
take the
room.
clothes off for you, or do you take it off yourself?
No, you take it off yourself. But you used to have to go, you've never been. So you used to have to go into a locker room and change your clothes,
I've been.
put everything in a locker,
I've been in the locker.
take everything off. They don't have that anymore. It's like there's no dressing out.
Oh, they don't want you to take off your clothes.
Not until you get into the room where they do the mammogram. And they do so it's less movement, more isolation. You're not touching anything. It's your clothes, goes in a bag. They give you a clean gown. You do your test, and then you wait. Then you go do your other test, and they give you the results in that room. And then you go on your way. So everything was spectacularly clean. You didn't touch anything. No lockers, no keys, no nothing. So I asked them, how's this going? And she said, I don't know if we're ever going to go back to the old way.
There is no old way. This
So
is
it
the
made
only
me
way
think
now.
of Jordana's conversation that we're going to have is the pivots that we've made in business. Do you go back to doing it the old way, or have you found new ways that work just as well, if not better, to make your business? There's no more volunteers, so they've cut down on their staff, and they're able to do it more efficiently. All the chairs have been gone. There's maybe 3 chairs in the waiting room or 4. Everything is spread out. Do you need to go back to the old ways of doing things, or has this been a silver lining in some ways, and you can continue to grow? So it was interesting.
It is. I mean, you should have asked somebody to come from there to come and sit with us, because we do want to know about cancer patients and how the vaccine is. We had this conversation yesterday, but it's good to know. It's funny because you go in there, you say, wow, I feel really safe the way they're doing things. They're doing to protect themselves. You know how many people they go through a day? We should change. Make everybody wear like a rubber finger.
It was really, the tissue part was really interesting. So I go all the way upstairs. They do their thing. They say, well, I do have your prescription. I do. It's in my car. So I had to leave. Go back
down.
Go back down. Do everything again. But it was incredible.
You just gave me an idea. So we take the temperature. We ask the 5 questions you're supposed to ask. And you give them a tissue. What's the tissue for?
The tissue for them was to touch the elevator buttons.
Open the doors or anything else you're going to be touching until you sit down. I think that's a good idea. I think it's good protocol.
So it was really interesting the way they had it all taken care of. But when you go,
Yes.
there's always a sense of anxiety because what you're having done on the yearly screening.
And was everything okay?
Yes, thankfully everything was fine. And then you leave there and you realize that, you know what, we live in a great community. It's literally 4 minutes from our studio. Like, it couldn't be any closer where I had to go. And they couldn't have been any nicer. Clean. We talked about a lot of things going on, and just a great staff of people. And that was a Boca community.
86% of seniors in Boca and some other cities that they mentioned of the senior population has been vaccinated. 86%.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
That's tremendous.
Now, I got breaking news.
Yeah.
I got a phone number,
Yes, you do.
which we're going to give it out today, tomorrow. We're going to put it in the midday show. And Teddy's not here. I wanted to call and thank her mom, because she's the one that provided me with the number. And they are giving shots if you qualify. Qualification is 60 and up right now. That's going to change in 2 weeks, I heard. If you have the form signed by your doctor, that means that you have a pre-existing condition like diabetes, heart disease, something.
Asthma, yeah.
Especially asthma, you run to the front of the line, and they ask you questions. You gotta have 2 forms of ID. You gotta have the green paper to go. But I am going at 8:15 on Monday morning to get my shot.
Congratulations.
Well, we'll see. But the important thing here is that I want people to know I have had the clearance to take my shot 2 weeks now. It'll be 2 weeks Friday. And I could not find a place to go. And this place, there was 492,000 new vaccinations that Florida received. And they're setting up shop. And they are receiving another 400,000 from what I heard. It's the Moderna, which is fine. There is some Johnson & Johnson coming in as well. The Pfizer, it looks like they're going to be in the hospitals only from what I'm hearing. They wanted it for the seniors, but it really makes no difference. availability is there. So we're gonna give out the number and everything else at the midday show because I left it in the car.
Oh, and big last I heard, Boca community has 0 COVID inpatient cases right now. So that was tremendous.
Wow. Wow. Where did you hear this?
When I went for my mammogram yesterday, we were talking.
Wow.
And we were talking about what had changed from their units and when they were repositioning people, nurses and staff to different places. And they get an update, I guess weekly, on cases in the hospital. And their COVID unit, as of yesterday, was at 0.
And it's funny because when we went to see
Which
Guy,
is huge, right?
which is over by the mall,
We're going to do that today.
they have all the places where you used to go and get COVID tested. Remember all those cones in the parking lot?
The tents are still there, but there were, what, 2 cars?
There were only 2
I've
cars.
done it twice.
Have you?
Yeah.
But there's only 2 cars. You've been there twice. You're not gonna talk a little bit. But there's no cars
Yeah.
Where?
at the mall.
On the west side of town center.
Where Sears used to be.
Sears.
Huh?
Near Sears. You
Yeah.
know, they've got the COVID testing center there.
You work there, Pinky.
I don't know.
You work here. If you go down the street, that's where they do the COVID
Yeah.
testing.
She's so funny.
It's actually less than what's busy.
Yes.
There's nobody. We just said that, honey. 2 cars.
I'm not listening.
She's got a phone, she's got a computer, she's got new commercial spots she's doing. We've got Ivy show today, so she's working on the smoothie cakes picture. She's got Maria from the spa facial. She's working on that spot.
I know you know Maria as the spa facial. I know Maria as
Manscaping.
Manscaping.
Yes, all of that.
And she's excited to come. I think she's bringing a tent.
So today we've got the Bitcoin Master going to be on at 7:30. Just the whole thought of manscaping is just like, you can vacuum now.
Slick is the manscaper. He's the one that's gonna
You
shred.
guys ever had waxing as a male?
I have.
No.
I had it.
No.
I had it.
We try to wax Zach's eyebrow every time my mom waxes me.
An eyebrow?
Yeah, his unibrow.
I
He
knew.
won't let me.
But imagine doing a whole back
Yes.
or arms
Yes.
or a
No,
body.
no.
You've done it?
Yes. I knew.
Did
I
it
knew.
bleed?
I knew a lady who is. What do you call that? Beautician,
An
esthetician.
esthetician?
One of those. So she says to me, "It doesn't hurt, Freddie." And she showed me the wax and the way it melts and all that, and
It
the
hurts,
stick and all
Freddie.
that. So I said to her, "Let me ask you a question. This doesn't look normal. You sure this isn't gonna hurt?" She says, "If you do it right, it doesn't hurt." So I asked her to do my back, right? And I asked her to shave it with a clipper. Zzz. So all you're really getting is at the nub, right? I figured the nub is a whole lot easier and less painful than if you have hair.
It's easier with hair.
She says it's easier. Well, yeah, thank you. You must know this woman.
It can grip it better.
The first time she yanked this first bad boy out, I ran out of the house.
I'm like
screaming
feeling
like
pain
a
for
woman.
you right now.
You bleed, you cry, and then they put alcohol on it.
No.
Much to say, we are no longer friends.
Well, here's the thing. When you do eyebrows, it's bad enough, but think about the size of an eyebrow versus the size of a back.
Yeah, but your eyebrows on your face.
Makes you sneeze.
You ever tapped yourself hard in the face and your eyes get red and you start sneezing and crying and everything? It's very sensitive. So even if you do this area here, ouch.
Ouch is right.
I don't know how women do that bikini thing.
Speaking of bikini thing, I have to take a whole broader look now at the commercials that are on TV. All right, so the Super Bowl commercial airs this commercial on breastfeeding and pumping. Prime time. All right, and it's great and it's all
It
inclusion.
was very nice,
and
by the way.
Now there's a commercial on shaving your pubic area.
Yes.
And I say that because you know how we always put the words on the commercial? There are the words specifically designed for your pubic area.
I saw it yesterday.
Really? Is there like nothing sacred?
2.5 Men. I watched the show last night where he goes in to talk to this woman because she's lesbian and his niece, the girl, were together and she kept ghosting her. So he went in there and got this whole thing done. So they show his legs up. That's Kushner, is that his name? Kushner's legs up, and she goes with the wagon. I'm dying laughing. She did it in 4, and then she tells him, turn over. Turn over. Turn over. Turn over. I'm going to tell you.
Can you imagine?
And I'm
That's
watching
gotta be
this like
worse than
this.
your back. It's
I'm
making
watching
you
this
cheer
like
right
this.
now, isn't it?
It is. I'm watching like this. That says, boy, I wish Slick was sitting right here. You know, look at this. And she's ripping, and they do the, it's not rip, but they're ripping. he's like crying. So he walked around with a whoopee cushion and ice for like a month.
But there are commercials with razors now for women for your pubic area.
Yes, and they are sharp as, forget about it.
Nails? Shepherd's nails?
I'm just shocked at the level of commercials that I don't understand. There's got to be a whole psychology behind it.
I use 5 razors. I have the 5 razor
On your
electrical. Yeah, when I shave. This has like 8. This thing will cut you in half.
I don't understand why we have to be so open with our commercials.
Because the problem
these
is, if
days.
you don't get in deep on the certain private areas, the hairs ingrow, and all of a sudden it gets kind
But
of
if
funky.
you get in too deep, there's a gnat.
There is no such thing as too deep.
You cut yourself.
Nah,
Yeah.
use a little, a little like that. It's,
You've never, I don't think.
Oh, I never?
I don't think you've ever shaved down there.
How do you know that?
I don't,
Or
but I'm
maybe I
just
have.
saying.
Maybe I am an expert.
Is that part of manscaping, guys?
Of course.
Really?
Yes.
Probably ask the manscaper herself.
Blake's like to openly admitting to it. Slick, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Gotta keep the lawn clipped.
Really?
Sure.
Wow, I'm horrified.
Well, you
at
gotta
the
go to
moment, Val.
or
I
you-
should not have asked.
Or you gotta go
Valerie.
to you gotta go to artificial turf.
Artificial turf.
Really, that's a thing.
Well,
Oh,
what?
yeah, you gotta keep it clipped though.
Wow.
Clipped. You gotta
Wow.
keep it clean.
Wow. I feel like you.
Well,
Wow.
women have to do it too.
Wow.
Do you know, I read that for that Super Bowl commercial, they went through 15,000 women's nipples to get the right look for the commercial.
Well, they've got a lot of people. They've got mothers. They've got nursing. They've got all shapes, sizes, locations.
Talking about the commercial.
There's two. There's the breastfeeding commercial. Now there's the pubic hair razor
No,
commercial.
that one, I don't know anything about that one. But the breastfeeding, they found the right person after 15,000 tries because it has to have the right color for camera and it had to have the right length. You know, there is length involved.
I didn't realize you could show. Wasn't there a thing? And I'm thinking through the FCC that you could not show a nipple on TV.
There is no such thing if it is something of health. In other words, you can do something if it's going to help the population. They're probably going to go to court to stop it. I don't know. I remember I saw this cop show one time for the first time, and they showed a guy's buttocks, and they got fined $750,000. But they did it. They were
It's
the
an
only
ad, I
shows to
know.
do it. That was in the 70s, 80s.
So, like, I knew you could show breasts, but I didn't realize you
On
could
TV?
show nipples,
You're
like
not
just
supposed
the
to.
outside. But this is a full-on.
I still don't get it. You
And
go
then
to
the
the
pubic
beach.
hair razor, I don't get it.
You go to the beach, you see it. What's the difference?
Well, we talked the other day
What
that
beach are you going to?
What?
What beach are you going
yes,
to?
there is now a new beach opening up or opened up here in South
in
Florida.
West Palm, there's a new beach. Would you go to a
It was
new
on
beach?
one of the top places to visit in Florida.
Why wouldn't you go to a new beach?
Because I don't go sunbathing in my birthday suit.
Would you go sunbathing in your birthday suit?
No,
Why?
maybe half.
I'm sorry, you're gonna go this way, huh?
No.
One on and one
Like
off?
Victor Victoria.
One
like,
hung low?
Like half and half.
You mean topless?
Yeah, I would do that, but not bottomless.
Would you do topless?
Probably not.
But then it's back to your nipples, so you have to cover them up.
And Blake, would you go topless?
He's a guy.
What difference does it make? He has nipples,
Yeah.
but they got nipples.
Guys are allowed to show their nipples. See, it's a whole.
Women are not allowed to show nipples.
No, it's
Not on
frowned
TV,
upon.
no.
Now,
Frowned upon.
is what?
It's frowned upon.
Frowned upon.
It is frowned upon.
So
Sometimes I feel like I'm old, but Val's a whole nother generation, and you're in the bra business, so you understand.
I don't understand if you're in the bra business, why you would have a problem going bareback on the beach. I mean, you're in the you're a professional.
I just don't want to see
Like, lay
you.
on my back, but I wouldn't have my goat chilling.
I don't think I'd have my butt
I
shown.
think if I could do it all over again, I would be
No, it's okay.
a doctor.
You don't have to. You don't have no. You don't
No,
have to
I
go
wanna
to
be
no beach.
I want to be a
You don't-
doctor. What do they call those doctors? They deliver babies and stuff.
An OBGYN?
I think they're
Obstetrician, gynecologist,
One of
yes.
those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Or women.
Yes.
You know what they say, though? Once you've seen one,
See them. That's one.
that's...
My cousin told me that. He's.
That's
yeah.
honestly like fitting people for bras.
My brother-in-law, Steve Gubbits, the morning. No, we're getting a bit daring. It's just what's on TV.
Oh, Steve, you know what? You don't go braless. That's all I got to say. You don't go braless.
It's a whole interesting concept of things
But
opening
you know, I
up.
don't get it. I don't get it. Dr. Seuss is banned, but nude beaches are allowed.
Well, I saw Ellen Page has now had her top surgery, I believe.
Who?
Ellen Page.
I don't know who that is.
She's an actress,
Okay.
and I think now her name is Elliot, and she had her surgery, and she's.
So now she's gonna go topless?
Oh, she's going topless, but a lot more things are open conversation now.
Everything's always been an open conversation. People like to close it because they think you have to be politically correct.
Do you think you'll be a cool grandpa when the boys
I
come
am
and
a
talk
cool
to
grandpa already. Yeah, I taught my sons about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, but that was your sons. Now these are your
I'll
grandsons.
teach anybody. You got kids? I talk to them too.
You think you'd be cool as a grandpa?
The coolest. Did I ever tell you? I got a bottle of peppermint, that green stuff,
Mid-
that mint julep stuff. It has no alcohol in it.
Okay.
And I fed it to my son. I says, "You want to drink?" Because he was young. I said, "You want to drink like that? No problem. Come here." And I gave him this thing until he was puking green. And I stopped him from drinking until he was like 17.
That's a cool grandpa for you.
That's right. I mean, my parents did it to me. They put Bacardi in a cup, my aunt, and she had me with a straw until I threw up. And I didn't want ever to touch that crap again.
Yeah, that'll do it to you. Remember the first thing or the one thing that made you so sick in drinking that you're like, oh, bless you, I will never drink again?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Crown Royal.
Crown Royal.
Tequila with a beer chaser. Could not find my house.
Wow.
I was stuck outside.
you were,
18.
you
I
were
was 18.
outside your house, you're going to
I
find out.
I told you this story. I went into a drink with a female and a couple of the guys I hung out with. And it was just me and her. And we were chugging tequila and tour boys.
There you go.
And I'm going to tell you something. I was outside, went to get some air, because she beat me. Yeah, I gotta admit, she beat me. I go outside and I can't find the front door to the building. Guy comes and says, "Santori, what's the matter?" They took me upstairs. My mother was, "Ah!" I went to sleep with a bucket later.
Oh, it's the worst feelings.
You wake up the next day with the shakes. You ever notice that? Slick, you know this, right? Because I see you come in with the shakes.
Steve Gubb says he's going to put on a Speedo if we're not careful.
Steve, it's okay. You don't have to.
Steve, you can put on all the Speedos you want. I just don't want to be in the state that you're located.
So you and Steve Gubb would not be at the same nude beach.
Absolutely not. Can
I don't
you
even know
imagine-
why you guys are going to a new beach.
Can you imagine hanging out with your boys,
There's a lot
with your
that's
friends?
hanging.
You hang out with your friends, and everybody says, "Let's go to a new beach." Would you go with your friends?
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
wanna know why.
With my friends. Yeah.
Because they want to go. Would you go?
Yeah.
You would go with your friends.
Yeah. For sure.
Not to participate, but sure.
What are you gonna participate? You're gonna hump a
Nah.
turtle? What?
Nah.
You're gonna go to the beach,
And just strip.
Then I would just go to a
a
regular
nude beach. Yeah, you gotta go strip. You gotta take your clothes. Would you do it with your friends? The question is, would you go with your boys?
Yeah,
I
with
wouldn't do
my
it.
boys. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Absolutely.
I
With
wouldn't
my
do it.
boys.
Slick, you would go?
Yeah, with my boys. Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't do it. I
I'm
ain't got
s-
boys
so-
like that.
So Val, what did you drink that made you sick that you will always remember?
It wasn't a drink, it was a food.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
Ode to food. Would you have a bad mango?
I
had
did
a
once.
chicken Caesar salad from Wawa one time.
Oh.
I've had a few experiences. Bad mango, lobster. If anyone ever wants to kill me, give me lobster with mango salsa.
Ugh.
That'll be the end
Do you
of me.
remember that story they tell you never eat a hot dog from a gas station?
Yes.
Yeah. That's like
You
I
ate-
never eat a Caesar salad from a gas station.
It was 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I used to drive to Tampa, coach football, and come back the same day to go to work the next day. So it was up 24 hours. But there's a gas station on one of the old roads going to and from Tampa. It's 24 hours. It's a gas station. And I pull in there, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm freaking starving. So I tell the guy who sees me every Saturday, "Are these dogs fresh, or have they been here all week? Just put them in." All the way to wherever the hell I'm Fort Lauderdale. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh. Now me was lemon drops. We were on a cruise ship once.
Lemon drops.
I've
The
done
drink?
that twice on lemon drops. Yeah.
You get seasick.
No, it was the lemon drops because they're small and mighty, and you don't realize it because then you have like the sugar on the outside. You do the lemon chaser. Twice I've been
Is that
very
a drink
sick
for
on
lemon
it.
drop?
It's pretty much a shot of vodka with a lemon chaser and a sugared rim.
When you go on a cruise, do you get seasick?
Yeah, well, at the last cruise
Well,
I
you
went on,
shouldn't
yeah.
drink. You shouldn't eat. You
But
shouldn't
I got
drink.
sick on lemon drops at a friend's house too. So
Word of the wise. Don't
no more lemon drops.
don't drink
for
any
me.
more lemon drops. Now, have you ever gone on a cruise ship and you go to the very top, and they got the basketball courts usually up there? You ever seen that?
No.
You ever been on a cruise?
Yes.
You ever seen the basketball courts?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go there at midnight when there's nobody there and the ship is out at sea, try to shoot hoops
In
when the
dark.
ship is moving.
Oh, God.
And you drink a shot for everything you miss. Every
The
time you
cruise
miss.
ships are still closed.
Yeah, they're gonna be for another year.
No,
That makes
they're
sense.
still out.
In certain countries.
Private charters aren't, right?
I don't think the lines are open. We gotta find out.
The cruise ship, but as a whole, the industry, I guess, of cruising, and at least from the United States, is closed. And I guess they're not accepting anything in. So it'll be interesting when things start to open again. What the pivot will be.
I kind of like going to restaurants and having in the restaurant people wear masks. I kind of like that, even if
Yeah.
there was no virus. I think it's kind of sanitary, very cool. They don't have any of the bottles out on the table anymore, so you have to ask for ketchup and things of that nature. They don't put it on the table no more. Kind of like that. They clean everything down in front of you. Kind
Kinda
of
like
like
that,
that.
too.
It's actually sick when you're thinking of what it was before.
Yep, isn't
I
it?
know. I know. I feel very ill. You know something? My coffee's coming up. Thank you very much.
You realize we lived in a society of just scooching by
Filth.
and
Filth.
nothing was clean.
Filth.
Yeah. Used to go to the bagel places and they would sit there and they'd fill all the
Ah,
ketchup
okay,
bottles every day and the salt and pepper
Stop,
shakers.
stop. You're going to
Put
make
them all
me.
back out.
I'm going to get sick. Can you imagine if I asked you to take a piece of food and I put it on the manhole cover of, you know what I'm talking about?
yes.
But that's what we were doing. And we were eating like we don't care. I told you, I went to a certain restaurant, there was lipstick on the cup, and I drank it. Yeah. So I went back to this restaurant, because now I'm high and mighty, a little, pedo. And she remembered me, she ran away and sent me a new kid. And this is the new kid. Here you go, sir. And I said, did you check on the inside? Yes, sir. It's all clear. Yeah, that really teed me
Will
off.
you use a piece of silverware on something like, say, soup, and then you decide, I'm going to have fruit and use the same thing for yourself without washing it?
Where, the restaurant?
Not your house.
Yeah.
Or do you have to change silverware every time?
First of all, I only use silverware when I have to.
Use your fingers otherwise?
I go like this.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not looking for, wait, silverware, what are you kidding me? What, I gotta wear a bib too in my house?
I told you, these new things are now the
Do
new
you wear your
catch-all
mask
bib.
in your house?
No.
So why would you change silverware?
Well, I was asking because I realized sometimes because
What?
You change your silverware for the
What?
soup, the salad, the meat? 3 different spoons, 3 different forks?
Sometimes. depending-
Why? Didn't you just cook it? Didn't you just? Do you ever taste the food when you're making it?
If I'm superstitious in the sense where if I just had pork, rice, and beans, I'm not going to use that same fork to have a pie.
Why?
Because it's,
Wash it off.
It's what?
Just wash it off.
Yeah, put it in my mouth. I wash it. Here we go.
I found mainstream things a whole lot more since COVID. Because I get home from here so late sometimes. By the time I work out and make dinner on my point system, that only I eat what I eat. I'm like, no one's even eating it, so I can eat it out of the container. I can use the same spoon a few times.
If you and Chuck ever invited us over for dinner and you did that, you know
I
there'll
wouldn't
be
do it
no
if anyone
living.
came over.
There'll be no living
I
with,
know.
with me. Because
No.
I would be all over you with a camera. I'd be calling my sister. You got to check this out, Mimi.
The last time I had people over for the holidays, it must have been Thanksgiving. I cooked everything with my mask on. I cooked with my mask on. I cooked with gloves on because I didn't want to expose anyone to anything. By the time I was done cooking, I was so exhausted.
My sister would make a drink. And she said, here, taste this. So I go and I taste it. And she says, you need more? Yeah, a little more. Okay. And then she tastes it. And I go, I don't want that. She goes, why? COVID. I'm your sister, stupid. I don't care who you are. I don't know where you've been.
I don't know what you've been kissing. Is that a conversation I was Slick the other day? Who you been kissing?
I told Slick, or maybe I didn't tell you. I was going to surprise you guys today. So you take your fingers like this, and you put lipstick here. These are the new lips of the future. Mwah.
Don't you remember doing that as a kid? Like eyes?
Yeah, just to talk.
You and I are so old, Freddie, that we
I
actually
don't remember
My
this?
generation, it was on TV. I don't know that I ever
I
did
had
it.
people that talk to.
people that talk this.
It was a TV thing.
You didn't have an invisible friend. You're so full of beans.
Actually, you
I
know
hear
what?
you talking to yourself now.
That would be kind of cool to do with the kids in this group that we're teaching.
Oh, I got a lot of kid stuff up there.
See, we got to write it down. Maybe we can get Val to be a part of it somehow. Because I can't imagine doing this without you. Seriously.
Maybe someday I'll be there.
I can't imagine doing this curriculum without
Well, there's
small
gonna be
talk
a way
with
that
Val.
we can get her, but it doesn't start till 2:30. She goes to work.
I know.
It ain't never happening.
Well, we'll
But
see.
this is the new way of dating.
How do you do that with your thumb?
You just move it.
Mine doesn't move that way.
Slick, I'm gonna tell you something. If I'm a girl and you want to kiss me, you're
Can
gonna
your
get
thumb move
punched.
that way?
Mine has an underbite, but.
Mine doesn't move that
It's
way.
an overbite.
No.
Why doesn't my thumb move that way? Like that?
Oh, yeah.
Dawn, put your finger where the indention is.
Yeah, and then it
And
doesn't.
there it is, like
Oh,
that.
like
First of all, that is, the pale lips like that will never kiss.
I told you.
Done.
I can't do this.
Put this down. You're done. Find another, use your ears or something.
Something else to talk to.
Steve, can you do this, Steve? I love Gubba. I love Gubba. So you put lipstick here. This is the new safe way. You know how people go like this. Now you go like this. Mwah.
I know there's no kissing anymore. You know,
You gotta sanitize your hands before you mwah
when you
me.
go out with your friends to eat, we used to go out on Saturday nights. Everyone kissed each other and did all this kissy, hi, how are you thing.
Now they
No
go.
more.
Now they
you're
go.
like, hey, how you doing?
They go. We don't do that no more.
We don't do that anymore. You're like, hey, how you doing? No more. It like takes all the pressure off on having to kiss people hello and goodbye. You know, like you going to kiss and they're going to kiss and then you like cross kiss and no more kissing anymore.
Now I've come up with a new thing. You ever go to a restaurant, right? You get a drink and they don't give you a straw. You have to ask for straws in West Palm. Did you know this?
Yes, forever kids.
Okay, so I, from my friends at WW, have bought 3 metal straws that are sanitary, clean, and I take it with me now.
Nice.
And now I am going to carry my own utensils and my sanitizer. So I will be sanitizing the area. I will put my knife, fork, and spoon and clean it and take. And I tell the waitress, these are mine. I bought them. As a matter of fact, I may have the monograms.
That's a good idea, actually. We should talk to Jeff about that.
Not Jeff. We should talk to the guy who monograms metal. The guy that was in
The
here.
engraver. He's
The
one of the
engraver.
DJs, Slick, remember?
Yeah.
Justin, Trevor, something
Justin.
like that.
Justin. So I'm going to have mine engraved because I did this and they said, sir, you're taking the soup. I said, no, this was mine. So I have to wrap it up in my own. And then I need, you ever ask for napkins when you're eating?
Yeah.
So I ordered the food and I tell the guy extra napkins. And sometimes they forget and I get very upset. Because I need many, many napkins.
Really?
Yeah, because I eat like a
I was
slob.
going to say you don't really use napkins here.
Me? No, I let the
And the
floor.
food, the crumbs are
floor's
all on the
in
floor. Hence why I'm always vacuuming. Back
If
to the
Linda-
beginning of the conversation.
We need a dog here to follow Freddie.
We need a dog. We need
I
a
got
rumba.
Slick.
Wow.
An actual dog that'll eat up all the food.
First of all, I'm not as sloppy as Slick. Slick drops drinks and everything.
So between the two of you, we need a dog.
He drops TV.
We need a lunch.
My
room is
mother
what we
used
need.
to always say, I can always tell what Freddie's eating, right? So Linda has picked this up now. They think it's funny. So you know what? I throw spaghetti in the air. Now I do it on purpose. Woo! Let it rain pasta, baby.
There are times I look at you, I go, are you going to eat that on the stage on those chairs? And you go, uh-huh. Okay,
Why?
let's see how that goes.
Why? Do we have a problem? You
We
want me
do
to
not.
wear a pamper?
Not
I
at
get
all.
a pamper from
You should wear a
AARP.
bib.
I get a bib from AARP. Why not?
I'm telling you, these are like the new bibs.
No, that's your bib. I need
I
a
know.
big bib. Me and Blake need like tablecloths.
Like rustic house kind
The
of
other
plastic
day,
bibs.
he's putting a tablecloth on the table, and this lady's carrying these heavy things, right? So he can't figure out how to open the tablecloth. I was dying. The bagels, from the bagels. She has like bagels, and she's like,
She's got this whole crate,
yeah.
right?
So he can't he can't figure out how to open the tablecloth. He's like, so I go, Jesus, somebody help him with the tablecloth. And they come running and they help him with the tablecloth. And the woman's like,
2nd Street Deli and Bagels. I got to call them. I need to put in my Passover order because I've decided They tried to almost guilt me into cooking for next week. Almost. I'm sure Mom's going to make a brisket. I'm like, no, Mom's really not, because you got to make brisket the day before. I've got my event here the day before.
I don't know nothing about that.
And if I make it Thursday, I'm here Thursday night, so there'll be no Mom brisket next week.
I go to Presidente's to get me a pork shoulder with some rice and beans.
Yeah, for Passover, that's just not going to fly, though.
Why? There's no meal for Passover.
Pork and Passover just don't go hand in
Why?
hand.
You can't put mayonnaise on your meat. Got it.
Can't do that either.
I love that.
You just don't do pork and Passover.
Why?
Because Passover is a Jewish holiday about how we escaped from Egypt, and there was no
And what
pig
you
and
eat?
pork.
You ate the pigs and everything when you left it there. I
No
know what you.
pigs.
No, what you eat? The chickens?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it! In the desert, you ate chicken.
No, actually, you ate matzah because it didn't rise in the bread, so there's no even bread going on.
I
this
never
week.
understood this. If I'm hungry, I don't care if it's an alligator. I'm gonna eat it.
Well, it's funny because last year my dad grew up very religious and Orthodox, very kosher. And last year he goes, you know what? Right now, if there were a vending machine in the desert, he
I'll
goes,
eat.
I would eat from the vending machine.
I bet you I get your father to eat a pork shoulder with me. If you're hungry, you're gonna eat. And first
eat
of
what you
all,
gotta eat.
gator is delicious if it's done right. No, it's not. You've never had it.
They say like fried
First of
gator
all,
bites.
I do not eat reptiles.
Yeah.
Okay, reptiles are reptiles.
You date girls.
No, those were reptiles, but they were not edible reptiles. So I
Gator
didn't.
bites are delicious. I said the same thing. I gotta tell you, I tried yesterday when I got home.
I don't eat
It
apex
shows you how
predators.
much Linda watches the show. She made corned beef and cabbage. And it has potatoes and carrots in them. These are big carrots.
But you
Now,
said
I don't like
you
carrots.
don't like corned beef and carrots.
I don't.
You don't like carrots.
I don't. So she said to me, try it or don't eat. And I said, oh. So I had it. It was pretty freaking good. But what I like about it, I did it doing. I lost a pound. I'm down to my goal weight for the week. I'm like, bring it on again. Except cabbage, I want it chopped up. She served it like a wedge. And here I am fighting with this stupid thing. I don't want that. But I'm going to cut it all up. I'm going to cut the carrots in there and mix it. Put a little salad dressing.
Once again, we don't eat apex predators. Okay. No
Listen, man, if you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
Oh, yeah, no, hard pass.
You'll even eat frog legs. You ever had frog legs?
Hard pass.
I think Val said they were good.
I am not.
I
an
wouldn't eat that
amphibian
either. They're just
apex
disgusting. I killed
predator.
too many of those in my life.
No
But
reptiles for
You
me.
ever had rabbit?
Rabbit? Hard pass.
Rabbit stew? The best.
Hard pass.
You had goat, but you won't have rabbit.
Yeah, I have goat
Mhm.
because it's a part of our country. Like we goat. It's called.
Oh, there's no
kabru,
rabbits
yeah.
in your country?
I can't say there's rabbits in our country, but
I
we
can't.
don't eat it.
I ate rabbit in your country.
We never ate rabbit.
I've never
though.
had rabbit. I've never had goat. I've never had alligator.
You know what? We're going to do, we're going to find some gator bites. I'm going
It's
to call
okay.
around and we go get you some. You're going to
Okay.
love it. 0 points.
Apex
I doubt it because
predators.
it's fried.
They have it in fry, and in New Orleans, they make it in some kind of stew. That's the way I had it with some white rice. It
They
wasn't
make
gumbo.
it in a gumbo, yeah.
It wasn't gumbo, but if you guys know what it is, it's in New Orleans. They make it. It's in like a stew, and they put it on white rice.
Crocodilian soup.
Crocodile soup. Sounds
Gio
delicious.
even said the same thing. Dad, I'm not having that. And he not only ate that, then he ate the cup. He said that was the best thing I ever had. It's really good.
All right, Batman, ready to wrap this up?
You know, we didn't talk about anything I wanted to talk about
12
today.
o'clock's coming up.
All right, we'll say it for 12.
More to come, everyone. Tune in for Ivy's Inspirations at 10:30. Our show at 12 o'clock with Maria's Manscaping by Maria. More to come.
We may have some surprises.
All right, happy Thursday, everyone. Be safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Keep that smile going and don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.